Hey everybody, James Tierney back with TierneyEducation.com. This is an extension from another video that I just completed and posted. And if you are getting this video without seeing that one, there will be a card link up here, so that way you can go see it. But in that video, we went ahead and found this total cost function. So now we're going to find the isocost curve if we're given that total cost function, the wage, the rental rate of capital, and the quantity. And you need to know the quantity for this isocost, which we'll talk about here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the information, and then we'll get started. So let's say the following information is provided to you, or you found it in an earlier question. The total cost function being 24 times Q. And what this means is whatever quantity you decide to produce, you're just going to multiply that by 24, and that's going to be your total cost. Your wage is 36. Your rental rate of capital is 4. And the key thing in order to find the ISO cost, which again we'll talk about here in a second, is we have the quantity equal to 6. So let's start by talking about what do we mean by ISO cost curve. So ISO is going to mean same, and cost can mean cost. So you can think about this as a curve that illustrates all the same costs. And we know what the cost is, right? So the cost for the isocost curve is going to be 24 times 6, right? So 6 was down here. So I know that 24 times 6 is equal to 144. So what I know is that my cost is going to be 144. So let's go ahead and get our ISO cost curve down here, knowing our total cost is 144. Again, we need to know our total cost is 144. So let's put L down here on the x-axis and K up here on the y-axis. Now the ISO cost curve, we're just looking to see all the different combinations of capital and capital and labor that are going to cost the same amount. And in this case, will cost 144. I always like to start at the endpoints. What I mean by that is if L equals to 0, how much K will cost me 144. Again, I'm getting a 144 from here by plugging in my Q of 6 into my total cost function. 6 times 24 is going to be 144. So if I were to not purchase any L, so we're at the origin here and going along this vertical axis right here, if L was equal to 0, how much K would cost me 144? The way you can think about that, let me make this slightly smaller so we can chat about it. The way you can think about that is what number K times R, which we know is 4, is going to equal 144. Well, that just means this K value is going to be 144 over 4, which is going to equal 36. And this is something to kind of talk about here, is that the maximum K is always going to be your total cost divided by R. And this should make sense because I'm just saying, oh, this is what each K costs. And if I'm trying to find my ISO cost curve, this cost divided by R is going to be whatever this number is up here. So I know my maximum K, and what I mean by maximum K is if I'm not buying any L is equal to 0, capital is going to be 36. Before we put that up here, let's go ahead and do the same thing for L, which is going to be down here, right? If K is equal to 0, well, then I know L times 36 equal to 144. Well, what that means is L is going to equal to 4. Again, this would just be dividing both sides by 36. Divide this by 36. 144 divided by 36 is going to equal to 4. So what that means is down here, we'll get the number 4. Here will be 36. So let's go ahead and graph that. Let's make some dashes just to see exactly how this would be going. Let's do it by 4, right? So if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we're way up there for 36. That's fine. 36. And then 4, 8, 12. We just keep going if we want. Doesn't matter because we know that this one is L equal to 4. So it's way down here. And so what we are going to see is this line is going to be my isocost. I like to say TC equaling to 144. You could label it whichever way you want, depends on which professor you have that will show you that. So this number is 4. This number up here is 36. I'm actually just going to erase this K. Move this 36 and K to make it just slightly nicer. 36, let's just put K up here. And that's going to be my isocost curve if you're given all of these values. So you can check some things, right? If I were to get 36 of my capital, well, 36 times 4, right? You can use a calculator. You can see that 4 times 30 would be 120. 4 times 6 would be 24, so that's definitely 144. So I know that this point right here costs us $144. And then down here, right? So if I have 4 L's times 36, well, again, that's the same kind of math we're doing here, right? 4 times 36 is going to equal $144. And then we can always double check. Like if I know my quantity is 6 and I plug my 6 into here, I've got 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 4 is 24. Again, we're seeing almost the exact same thing here. It's going to be 144. Everything checks out. We've drawn the isocost curve. And so you know what's next is going to be an isoquant curve, which we will do in the next video once I get that one posted. So again, this is a quick video on how do we find the isocost curve when we are given or we found total cost, wage, rental rate, and quantity. Again, this is James Tierney from TierneyEducation.com. I used to teach economics at Penn State University, and now I do a lot of academic coaching and tutoring here in State College, both in person and virtual. If you want to find out more, just go to TierneyEducation.com or drop me a line in the comments. We'll talk soon.